So nice to meet you. I saw the film. I thought it was an amazing job. And one of the things I really wanted to start off by asking you is like, this was your return to directing after a few years and to return to writing after a very long time. So what made this project special for you?
I think in terms of writing, yeah, I haven't written anything since Soul Food, man. It's been a while. It just sort of kind of happened organically. My writer Frank Baldwin would start writing some scenes, and he'll hand it over to me. Sometimes instead of explaining what I'm looking for, I would just give me the script. I'll just start typing in, give it to him, and it sort of started happening all the way through. And he was so open to having me be involved as well. Really enjoyed that process because George's story is it's like a roller coaster ride, man. This guy went from nothing to somebody, and it wasn't all easy. It was ups and downs. There was divorces. There was like on the edge of your seat, all these great boxing matches, a sense of loss of money. Is everything, in scripts, you try, in fictionalized, you make this stuff up, right? But this was all true. It was all real, and I just thought he was a very fascinating character.
Absolutely. And then for you, like, not to age you, but you lived through a lot of these things when they were happening, and then now you're here directing it. What was that? How does that compare, like, to see it as a bystander growing up, but then now be behind the scenes and helping to retell this story?
Man, it's so interesting because I remember in 1987 when George Foreman made his comeback. It was like out of the ring for 10 years. And he came back at it like 300 pounds or something. And I was laughing, man. I was like, this is going to be a joke, right? And I tuned in, and I couldn't help it. Each month, he started fighting on the regular once a month. And I would be on USA channel listening to him talk. And next thing you know, he's fighting for the heavyweight championship belt of the world. That was just so great. That brought a lot of fun and humor to that process for me. You know what I mean? And it's a different character, a different person that I remember from the Ali fight. And I remember the Ali fights from watching ABC Sports. ESPN would telecast it. They were telecast at least 3 or 4 times a year. And I was just like, man, these guys are fighting. These new guys ain't fighting like they fought back then. So it just made it exciting for me to get it right. I felt like people can go to YouTube and like, oh, this ain't real. We really put in the time to make it feel real.
I love that. And then one of the things, I brought my mom with me to see this, and she was just jamming along to the music. And one thing y'all really got right was that music. So, like, how did y'all even curate that together and get the soundtrack right?
Man, I'm going to be honest with you, man. When I was doing the editing, I started putting in these cold, nice tracks, man. I didn't think Sony was going to pay for it, but they did. But they did, man. I just loved it. You can't be in the 70s without the right music. You know what I mean? You can't do a sports movie without the right theme at the end. And then one of the things that was exciting too, nobody done this. Come on, you gotta please tell me, has anybody have a boxer walk to the ring on a gospel song? Okay. Okay. And that's the reason I did it. The reason I did it, because that's what George Foreman did. That's how different things are.
That's amazing. And what's like one final question? What's the biggest thing that you want people to take away from your storytelling in this movie, and just what you got to put together with this film?
Man, you can't judge a book by its cover, man. Like, look at George at the early years of age. The teacher would even choose him when he raised his hand. Just because the way he was dressed, she went with a kid who got the nice clothes and the nice shoes. You know what I mean? And that really hurt him, man. How could anybody write me off? Okay, take that. So many years later, winning the heavyweight championship belt, Joe Frazier, then winning it at 46 years of age. Come on, you can't, that story is whoever guessed, and he had the grill, right? You can't write the book off, but you gotta look inside, second chances. We all got a chance to change our life. Don't look at our past, forget our mistakes, move forward, admit the mistakes, go to the next level. That's what this movie is all about. But I do it with using entertainment, on the edge of your seats, humor and fun. And one of the things I'm always going against is nobody's being preached at, and that's one of the things I love about George's story, is example by itself.